At Microsoft's 2018 Xbox E3 press conference, the company opened by dropping the reveal trailer for Halo Infinite. At the time, my initial reaction to the trailer was curiosity. Not only was the name Infinite interesting, but the trailer begged a lot of questions. What Halo were they on? Why did the Marines crash there? Who is the Master Chief's new AI? The issue is, the Halo Infinite trailer wasn't a trailer for the actual game. It was a demo of the Slipspace engine, the engine developer 343 Industries built for Halo Infinite. During the beginning seconds of the trailer, this is divulged at the very bottom of the screen in dim lettering. Outside of that, Microsoft failed to make it clear and fully explain what was shown during its presser was more so for the engine and less for Infinite itself. Shortly following the reveal, 343 indicated that while the trailer wasn't necessarily of the game itself, Infinite will be heavily inspired by the art style showcased in the trailer, an art style that looks closer to the older Bungie-developed entries of the Halo franchise. Halo Infinite's reveal is indicative of a problem that penetrates through all levels of the gaming industry and, like with many things, is highlighted at the premium AAA level. Games, advertising, marketing, and messaging is a complex endeavor. Not only are video games widely diverse, but so too are their markets. What we might consider a AAA mass market pop culture hit like Call of Duty also has a dedicated fan base of hardcore players. Commercials have to appeal to all these markets, from casual to hardcore audiences, each of whom have different times and places they'll most likely see an ad. Bearing this in mind, the video game industry continues to come up lacking in marketing and messaging. Game advertisements can be confusing, misleading, sometimes dishonest, and sometimes just bad. And because so much of this is committed by the AAA industry, what the mass general market and occasionally the smaller, more dedicated market gets is unrealistic expectations of video games based on the industry's unrealistic portrayal of those video games through advertising. If the point of advertising is to raise awareness, knowledge, and interest in a product, I think it's safe to say the industry regularly fails at completing all three. Games are advertised in ways that fail to explain what a game is or how it works, recurrently putting more emphasis on conceptual or attitudinal representations of a game, which is great and definitely necessary for marketing and branding, but not so great for informing consumers about basic product knowledge. This is an industry-wide problem that's persisted for a very long time, but it's no more better exemplified than in the AAA big-budget scene, a space you'd think would have the resources to market games effectively. Animated or flashy live-action ads like this live-action commercial for Bethesda's Fallout 76, which shows no actual gameplay, are good examples of this. Now, this ad does serve an important purpose. It tells the viewer Fallout 76 is a game made to enjoy with friends, which it is, and that you'll be exploring a creepy monster and mystery-filled world. This commercial also conveys an attitude, a theme we've come to associate with Fallout as a series. Gallows humor, a contrast between Fallout's morbid post-apocalyptic world and its silly characters and classic soundtracks, featuring artists like Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby, Nat King Cole, and, in this case, the Beach Boys.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long?
That is Fallout's brand, its identity, and on that account, the trailer does a great job. But by not showing gameplay, the commercial deprives viewers of basic information, most notably how the game actually looks. How many people bought Fallout 76 and were disappointed it didn't look exactly like this trailer? Probably not very many, and maybe none, but that's not the point. Had Bethesda added gameplay to the commercial, it would have been a better ad, more informative, showing the actual product in order to sell it, rather than a conceptual representation of the product. I'm not sure what the downside is to mixing the live action's conceptual theme with footage of real gameplay. Fallout 76 does have an official gameplay trailer, yet it's a live action trailer like this one that often fills the pricey time slots of football games and primetime television, rather than a better rounded out, more informative commercial that includes gameplay. Live action trailers get into more trouble introducing celebrities into the fold. This commercial for Rainbow Six Siege, like Fallout 76, portrays Siege's core mechanical concepts through metaphor, but not gameplay. You'll notice Idris Elba is featured in the commercial, narrating the combat unraveling around him.
In this arena, bullets are nothing without brains. Survival is earned through improvisation and destruction.
problem is, Elba, an immensely talented actor, isn't necessary for the commercial's message. Celebrity cameos in commercials might be good-natured fun and definitely helps with marketing and messaging, but when used as Elba was, don't help sell a game as the product it actually is, ultimately amounting to an unnecessary incurred cost. Whatever resources were used to get Elba in this commercial would have been better allocated anywhere else in Siege's development. CGI and in-engine footage like this commercial for Battlefield 5 effectively serve the same purpose live-action ads do, demonstrating thematic and mechanical concepts you'll find in-game, but not necessarily representative of actual gameplay. Even with the disclaimers that accompany these kinds of commercials, you have to wonder why it's beneficial for AAA companies to so often advertise their products without actually showing them. If you've played Battlefield in the past, you know it doesn't actually look like this, but is it unreasonable to wonder if casual, non-gaming viewers can separate actual gameplay from in-engine and CGI demonstrations? I don't think it is. When done correctly and at the right times, conceptual advertising and celebrity cameos have their places, and they can make an impact. When a game is initially announced, for example, it's unreasonable to expect a developer to have gameplay ready for public consumption. So conceptual announcement trailers like this in-engine trailer for CD Projekt Red's upcoming Cyberpunk 2077 is completely acceptable. But nearing release and after release, a game should be advertised in ways that showcase its core elements, both conceptual and gameplay, in order to set a realistic expectation for itself and consumers. Without a doubt, this is challenging. Nothing better helps you understand games than playing them, and games with layers of complexity like Blizzard's Overwatch can be downright disorienting to watch, let alone difficult to follow. This doesn't mean working gameplay into a commercial is impossible. New World Interactive may not have the budget to put Insurgency Sandstorm into primetime television commercials, but its launch trailer does a great job splitting conceptual footage and gameplay footage. The beginning is not footage you'd find in-game. Instead, it's footage of Sandstorm's ambiguous Middle Eastern setting, which is based on reality but not specifically tied to any real armies, countries, or conflicts. 30 seconds in, the trailer switches to gameplay, a montage of action scenes that show off Sandstorm's visceral gameplay. And having played and reviewed the game, I can confirm this trailer does the gameplay justice. The trailer doesn't explain Sandstorm's intricacies, the game modes, or maps, and it doesn't need to. It informs consumers of its core concept and shows examples of actual gameplay, giving a realistic impression of how the game looks. Whether a viewer goes on to read reviews, learn more about Sandstorm and purchase it, or closes the window and completely forgets Sandstorm exists, they leave having a solid general idea of what Sandstorm actually is. Live-action celebrity-filled commercials have their place as well, and for a good example, look no further than Robin Williams and The Legend of Zelda. The celebrated comic was featured in a number of Zelda-related commercials along with his daughter, Zelda Williams.
The first time I saw you, I knew we'd be linked forever. For you, I traveled to the four corners of the world. I faced adversity. I became a hero.
Dad.
I saved your kingdom.
Dad.
Yes, Zelda?
Are you mixing me up with the princess again?
Hard to say. You're both pretty magical.
That ad is great. It shows a bit of gameplay, what the game actually looks like, and uses Robin's relationship with his daughter as a mirror to Link's relationship with Zelda. Not only is it absolutely heartwarming, but falls right in line with the franchise's spirit. It's a meaningful and impactful half-minute of branding that shows the product, shows the concept, and sells the game. Succinct, to the point, and effective. There's a perception that the corporate side of AAA gaming is out of touch with its audience, that publishers like EA, Activision, Blizzard, and Ubisoft know what turns a profit, but not necessarily what makes a good game. It's debatable, at least in my opinion, how accurate this perception is, but when it comes to marketing and advertising, I do see some evidence of it. I don't know who Idris Elba's appearance in that Siege ad was geared toward. I find it hard to believe his inclusion piqued the interest of hardcore audiences, and I don't know if casual audiences cared either. At the same time, I think it's completely plausible live-action trailers are made specifically for casual audiences, intended to sell less video game-informed viewers on the expectations and excitement those viewers create based on the emotion and flash of live-action advertising. The issue here that's larger than why the industry does what it does is why the industry doesn't do better. The resources are there. AAA publishers may not have the same capital to advertise as often and broadly as the big-budget film industry, but certainly have enough to set aside ad space for their annual big budget autumn releases. So perhaps you could chalk all this up to out-of-touch executives making marketing decisions based on poor information, and perhaps not. But what is a fact is that the industry can do better and should.